We got the 2013 Vibe, Minnesota edition with Lordsky and Quentin riding along with us. Rear rotors are needing a little smooth out. So we are taking the rotors off. These have never been removed before. Still have the little screws on there from the factory. So we're going to take our AMCO brake lathe out of storage, have it do things. Then we put a little bit of heat on those screws, and then try to get them loose from there. So we'll be back. So one way to take those screws out is here in Minnesota they need some heat. So you heat them up. Not crazy hot, just heat them up. And then you take your Craftsman, find what size socket fits in any Craftsman, and fill up to the right size, put a ratchet on there, and you kind of lean in. No, you want to make sure you put this. That's right, and then you lean in and get her to pop loose. Since you already have one person hold the brake, and then it should be able to get it. So that works. So hey, there we go. The mighty impact driver. I don't even know what make or model or.
I think it's actually a Cornwell.
It's got words on it that have been wore off 50 years ago. And then a big hammer. You can get.
Oh no, it is. It literally is the impact driver.
So it is probably the original, like
made by HK Porter Incorporated. The number 6M impact driver. Impact driver is one word, and impact driver is spelled IMPAK driver. Impact.
Collectible.
Driver.
So you get the little screws out right there, and they do not go back in. So we just get them out. They don't need to be on the hub. So we got them. Make sure you heat it up, and then you use high performance lubricant from SuperTech. A little bit warm still. And a baby torch so you don't hurt anything too much. Okay, now we'll dump a little water on that. Even though it's hot, we should drink it. We'll dump some water on there and get the caliper off. So do the same on this side. Except this time the young squire's got a fan so we don't melt because she's hot.
I bought this with my own money. I'm going to use it anytime I want.
So you heat up that screw and then you shoot it with some professional lubricant. Attack. I do that a couple times, and it blows the fire out after that burns off. And then we do that a couple of times, and then go in there with the impact driver, and that's how you do it. If you don't do it that way, just drill it out. No big deal, and move on with your lives, your brake rotor lives. So, what are we doing here? We got pads for the back and for the front. We put front pads in not too long ago, but our rotors are kind of chewy front and back. So we are going to organize a few things still. Ooh. So we are going to tackle something we have not tackled since Grandpa passed away, is our AMCO brake lathe. So this is the actual brake lathe that Grandpa used. That is his handwriting on there. When the company he worked for went out of business, we tried to buy it. They said no. And then we learned through somebody else, everything got sent to an auction. So we definitely would have paid more for it than what we paid for it at the auction. So no complaining there. A lot of people see an old AMCO and say, oh, I'm just going to buy cheap rotors. or whatever. And yes, you can get cheap imported rotors pretty cheap, but we know that this is a good unit. This is a good operating machine right here. So we are going to go through and get ready, get get it set up for our disc brakes. We got our anti-chatter things hanging out around here. We got all the different pulleys, pardon me, all the different, not pulleys, but adapters. And the reason there's metal brackets right there is when I got loaded to the back of the truck to drive home, this broke in the wind. Grandpa drove a little too fast. So this has some kind of the nice anti-chatter things on here. We'll put those in place. We did put on new cutting wedges about, oh gosh, not too long after we got this. And these have, so there's 6 sides you can use on them. And we've only rotated them once. So I think we're pretty good. Plus, they still make essentially the same exact thing. And you can use it. I mean, all the pieces you can buy still. So happy with that. Just got to get some stuff out of the way, and we'll get her fired up. Here in Minnesota, it can get 60 below, as well as, what is that there? 94, 95, something like that. Perfect weather to be sitting outside playing with your brake rotors. Don't forget, Minnesota is rusty gas tank live. Actually, it's not so rusty. So while the noisy tires. So while the heat and juice worked on this side, our heat and juice has failed us on this side. So one has just shelled out the inside of the Phillips, and the other one is not much further behind. So we are going to do the old weld the nut in place trick and try to twist the nut off. So of course, anytime you're welding, you want something, especially with a computer, go through and take your battery, disconnect your battery. And I like to make sure it can't even fall in place. So I put a little chunk of wood, a couple pieces of cardboard or something, just so in case something jiggled, it didn't just drop back on. And she's dirty. She needs a little detailing there, doesn't she? So we're going to weld some nuts on, try to spin them off, and go from there. So when it comes to doing what we're doing, you want to hold that nut in place with something. So we will use kind of like a generic, whatever pliers that we can. What brand is that guy? I don't know. Here, one of those kind of dollar tools right there, whatever. We grabbed just some generic pliers out of our generic pliers drawer. Not the good pliers. And then if the end gets kind of melted-y or burnt up, we don't feel too bad. And this is how we do this. Try to get her centered. Fill the center full of weld. She's plenty hot. And then we try to spin her off.
That's how that.
And that is how you do. Oh, somebody's having more fun. Somebody's have more fun than we are.
That's have more fun with a hacky sack for us.
Erica. Okay. So, one down, one to go. Oh, you know what? It was a minivan. We knew it. Okay. That's how you do it. Put a spark in the gloves. That just keeps you awake. Oh. Oh.
We should have done that about an hour ago.
There you go. One. By the way, the orange is not painted orange, so don't pick that baby up. Okay. Now we can move on.